Joining us now, Executive Vice President of the Article 3 Project, Mark Lucas. He's also a retired Army Ranger and Afghanistan veteran. Welcome into Newsline, Mark.
Thanks for having me on.
You know, these deportations are underway, and you have people, the city officials in these sanctuaries, harboring basically undocumented immigrants. I mean, that's really what it is. The days of New York Governor Hochul or Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey harboring immigrants, however, is over, according to Tom Homans. Talk about the obstruction of immigration effort and how serious the repercussion could be for these elected leaders.
These Democrats could face serious federal charges, and I'll look at New York Attorney General Letitia James, who has long time been targeting President Trump. I'd ask her, who does she represent? Because the people of New York have been terrorized by these illegal immigrants, by murder, rape, torture. Is she going to stand by the people of New York, like her colleague in New York City, Mayor Adams? And will she work with ICE? If she doesn't, she could be facing some serious federal crimes.
You know, and let's talk about the other report from our Kelly Dukart happening on the Hill are these confirmation hearings and delays. Democrats trying everything to derail Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's confirmation. You heard Chuck Schumer saying he's unqualified. You took to X and wrote that the latest smear on Hegseth proves his confirmation is basically Kavanaugh 2.0. You know, it's one thing to hear Schumer say these things, but then you have Republicans, Axios reporting Senators Mitch McConnell, Lisa Murkowski, saying they may vote against him. John Thune has a battle on his hands with the Republicans in his own party.
I've known Pete Hegseth for over a decade. He was my predecessor at Concerned Veterans for America. And the trigger pullers, we love Pete Hegseth. The paper pushers hate him. He's going to send a strong signal to the world. He's going to restore respect and dignity to our military. It is so sad that Senate Democrats are playing games with our national security. President Joe Biden was able to have his Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin, confirmed 2 days after the inauguration. And Senate Democrats are playing games with our CIA director and now with Pete Hegseth. But I believe that Pete Hegseth will be our next Secretary of Defense. He will probably have a vote either late Friday evening, early Saturday morning. But the American people sent a resounding message. They support President Trump, our disruptor, commander-in-chief, and they also support his cabinet. And Pete Hegseth is the right choice. You can see that the deep state is fighting back fiercely, and we must confirm Pete Hegseth as our Secretary of Defense.
You know, Mike, as we watch sort of the coverage over on legacy media of the first few days of Donald Trump's presidency, they're just incensed about the January 6th pardons. It's all they can focus on. He's doing a million other things, but of course, that was what they were able to use and try to smear Donald Trump and his reporters for years, and now it goes away. There was this really interesting and fiery exchange, we could say, between Tennessee Congressman Tim Burchett and CNN anchor and one of the Trump haters, Jim Acosta. Let me play this for you.
This is not Fox, Congressman. You can't just spin a tail and pull the wool over people's eyes. Yeah. This is CNN. This is the news. We are asking you to come on and tell the truth.
And that's why more people are watching the Cartoon Network SpongeBob reruns right now, Jim. Look, I left the White House during a riot. My life was threatened. My life has been threatened within the last few weeks, yet there's no coverage of that. And you all continue this narrative attacking Trump. You just can't stand the fact that he won and that America spoke.
Congressman,
and that your view is very diminished.
That's not the case at all.
Well, I think it is the case, Mark. Jim Acosta also might have his time slot moved to midnight, and apparently he's threatening to quit. So a lot of drama with that man. What do you make, though, of that where, you know, Congressman Burchett really had to push back? They just hate that he won.
They hate that he won, and to go to the January 6th pardons, this is a classic tool of deception. They're trying to deflect from the pardons that Joe Biden issued against murderers, against his own family, against Tony Fauci. And I take it very personally that they provided a blanket pardon to General Mark Milley. I believe that Mark Milley has embarrassed our country. He abandoned our service members in Afghanistan that resulted in the 13 deaths at Abbey Gate. So Democrats are trying to deflect from these Biden pardons by focusing on January 6th. But President Trump has started his second term at a breakneck pace. We've just seen a flurry of activity, whether it's executive orders or him securing the border,
Yes, we have,
or these
yeah.
arrests by ICE agents. We are back on track.
The golden age begins, as he also reiterated today at Davos in front of all those world leaders. Mark Lucas, a pleasure to have you, Vice President of the Article 3 Project. Keep up the great work.